Brief visit with Coach Jimbo Fisher, and I got to ask the obvious question that fans are wondering: what in the world are you doing these days?
Well, trying to keep myself not busy. We're being busy, but trying to keep myself distance from everybody. But the big thing we're doing is staying on the phone, recruiting, hitting all of our current players, keeping them updated about what's going on. Our recruits that are coming in that we've already signed, and the guys was here, and then we're doing recruiting calls. I mean, they can call you, we can text, and then the kids can call in. So we're spending a lot of time on the phone talking to the upcoming classes. I know all the 3 classes that we're recruiting right now, and then just watching video, trying to stay with our opponents and our things that we want to improve, parts of our game we want to improve with video as much as we can on that time right now, and trying to get as much out of this time as we possibly can.
And that to your point, that's what the staff is doing. We still, even though we don't know what the future holds, we're still ordering cup designs. You got to get ready with tickets. There's all things, because we plan to still kick this ball game off, and you got to keep moving forward.
You do. You got to plan for the future. I mean, you got to have multiple plans. I mean, that's what we've had. We have multiple plans. If something happened that they give you some kind of spring workout, which they probably won't do, but or a summer workout or whatever, you have that. But if they don't, you sit and you have all alternative plans you got to plan for. It is as far as it's a lot of work, but at the same time, if you're not prepared when those situations come, you waste time. But you don't ever know which one you got to pull out. It's like a game plan when defense changes a little bit. But we're all in times now that are they're unknown times. None of us have ever had any experience in anything like this. So biggest thing is listen, pay attention, be safe, and do as much as you possibly can with the social distancing.
I've always thought that guys in your position ought to, I'm telling you, it's an odd thing, Jimbo, I don't think you cut out to do, because your life falls into the success of a 17 to 23-year-old right in there somewhere every day. What's in their mind right now as you're speaking with them? I got to think your heart goes out to them and what they're experiencing.
Well, they are, but the big thing is you have to educate them. I think our staff is doing a good job. As a head coach, I try to call periodically through the guys and get to all of them, but our staff and our own players they got to talk to. And the big thing for us is to communicate and make sure they understand where it's at. And like you say, tell them to be patient. Sometimes, because the kids, they want to go, but I think the big thing that we can do right now is educate, make sure they understand everything that's going on, organize, structure, and make sure there's not an unknown for them. But as much this whole thing is unknown, but what we've got to make sure they understand that we're all in the same boat. So there's no reason to panic. There's no reason for anxiety. Do what you do what you're capable of doing, and that's all you can do. But the big thing is keep the lines of communication open to them.
In the times that I've heard you speak, I got to think that your enthusiasm for this upcoming football season has to be infectious for the kids that you coach every day and lead. You still have to be excited about the future of this program.
Oh, we do. And like I say, it's like everything in this country. We find ways to beat it, and we figure it out. And I was really excited about spring ball. Not that you're not every year. I love spring ball because you get to work with those young kids and get to see guys grow. But I thought we had the best off season we'd had. And coaches say it all the time. But I just from a there wasn't mistakes or guys you got on, but I mean the consistency level and the leadership part of it I thought was really, really good. And being here for going for a couple of years, I think the guys are getting it. And seeing some of those young, talented, older guys are really grasping it and taking, as I say, the reins and the leadership. And then the young guys, you see that young talent, and you want to get it on the field, you want to get it coached. And I was really looking forward to that. But, hey, we're all in the same boat, so we'll figure it out as we go.
As a fan, I just wonder, have you kept in contact with some of your colleagues in the SEC? Do you talk to other coaches?
Yeah, we do. We talk to other coaches or what's going on and what they're doing, what we're doing. And everybody's in the same boat. I mean, we're all kind of, everybody seems to be doing the same things, and just try to search out there and find out. But hey, ain't too many of them in the SEC going to tell you everything,
including you.
Exactly right.
Coaches, as we talk about the fan base, we've had discussions too about what it's going to look like when that first moment happens, when we know that we're back onto the field, the court of competition, wherever that may be. I think the Aggies are rooted in loyalty. I think we're going to fare better than some. But what do you say to those fans right now where Aggie athletics in particular may be their life, then all of a sudden it comes to a screeching
again, it's like
halt?
everything. You got to be patient, and sometimes, there's an old adage, be quick but don't hurry. We got to do it there, and we got to get there the right way and how we're doing it. But, what I think this does do, I think it makes you truly appreciate what we have. And we all gripe and complain each and every day about this and about that, and I got to go to work, and man, it would be nice to stay home. Then you're home for about a day and you say, man, I can't stay home anymore. But I mean, I think how great we do have it in this country and how great athletics are, and what we have here at Texas A&M and other places in this country that people have, that I think there's such a great appreciation for our lifestyle and what we're able to do, and how big what we don't really realize, in my opinion, is how sports really bonds this country. I think it really does. I mean, we talk about all the different. I know politics doesn't. That divides it. I mean, you divide it in half, and everybody's fighting over it. But I think sports is something that we all come together, and I don't think we realize the impact that it has on our lives each and every day. Not just for you want your school to win, but the development of these kids in so many ways, the economic impact it has on our communities and our lifestyles and everything that happens, and and how really big athletics is to us, and we're blessed and I'm blessed to be a part of that. And again, football, of course, I think is the sport of America, and it's definitely a sport of Texas. There's other great ones in there. We're all great basketball, and I'm a huge fan of all of them. But how big this is, and that how blessed we are to have it, and we just got to take advantage of it when we get it back and do things the right way.
The old saying is, you don't realize what you got until it's gone.
It's always that way.
And I'm going to tell you, as quickly as a rug was pulled out from under us with Buzz's crew on a trajectory,
they were doing great.
Right under them from the SEC tournament. To your point, you shouldn't take any day, any person, anything in your life for granted ever again after seeing what can happen.
No, exactly right. And I think that you got to live it. You got to live your life. And we're all like that. We got to save this. We got to do this. I don't want to do that. But something, you got to live. You got to have fun. You got to enjoy the days you have and take advantage of the ones you have. And we got a bunch of them coming, hopefully here coming up, that I think are going to be really, really good. But each day in life, I think that every time a tragedy happens in life, it does put things in perspective for you. And God has a funny way of doing that.
I got to ask about the demeanor of the staff, because I think it's a strange twist of irony. Those of us who've had the opportunity to be in leadership situations, we talk to people, and especially young kids, about overcoming adversity. You're behind, you find a way to pull it out, be it OT, whatever it takes. But now it's like everybody has to practice what they've been preaching.
Well, you do, but sometimes I think one of the things that you do in life, that sometimes you got to slow down to speed up. And right now is the time we got to slow down. And because you can't just go full board all the time without realizing what's going on. And sometimes, like I say, God in this world has a way of humbling you and making you slow down and see things. And I think right now is the time we got to slow down to speed up, and so we can have success and appreciate what we have. And sometimes it makes you, as I say, it's like rebooting a computer. It makes you reboot it up and take a look at things in a different way and see things through a different set of glasses. Sometimes it only makes you better.
Final question for you. What is it going to be like on that first fall day when you lead that team down to the tunnel and you do the run out for the season opener? I got to think this year in particular, Jimbo, probably has a little bit deeper meaning. It doesn't matter the opponent and the fact it's non-conference. I got to think that moment is going to be truly special.
Well, I think it is, because I think of how much we realize that, sometimes this thing can be taken away very, very quickly. And, just like all the great tragedies that have happened, I say great tragedies, but the big tragedies that have happened in our country, in our world, and how athletics kind of bonds it back together, and how happy we are to get back. And, but how appreciative we have it, like we were just talking about, and how blessed we are to do what we do. We all complain about our job, trust me, even though I do complain about my job. There's parts of it you don't always like, but how appreciative we are to be doing what we're doing, how lucky we are to do what we do, and especially to be doing it at a place like this. It's amazing. And every time you smell that grass in the fall and everything that's football time, man, it is a special time, and we're blessed to do it. And hopefully, there probably will be a little more special meaning because how close it was that we didn't, get to have it maybe. And so we're looking forward to it as much as anything. I know that. I'm dying to get back on that grass.